Good morning, everyone. It's early morning hours of 7:12, and actually it's not even 7:12 quite. It's around midnight. But I'm doing this early before I go to bed, and I'm actually doing this on sermon audio as well as YouTube at the same time. So bear with me if you would as I do that. One of the things that I think needs to be stressed in the Christian life is that often we have a kind of a paradox. Trying to get this glare down on my screen. There's a paradox between election and perseverance and faith and struggling against sin. Now, a lot of people want to talk about the fact that, that God has won the victory. He's seated at the right hand of God. He's making intercession for us, but they deny the warfare. They deny the aspect of the warfare. They deny the fact that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities in high places. And so that really concerns me, because when you are in denial of the realities of the fact that we are in a warfare, Paul talks about it all the way through the 7th chapter of Romans. In fact, Kevin pointed out earlier in our talk show tonight, the last 2 years, of course, Paul spent in Rome, and he was contending daily for the faith that was once delivered to the saints until they killed him. Are we contending for the faith? Are we just going along doing what is comfortable rather than striving against sin? Now, only God, we believe, predestinates all things, including our response to evil, including our exposing evil. I like what Ed Henry says. It's either concealing or it's revealing. Christianity is revealing. It's not concealing things. That's one of the things that really used to irk me about the Arminians, and still does, is they conceal things. They hide things. I was 37 years old before I was, before I learned anything about the great doctrines of election and predestination. How many of you who see this video tonight, how old were you when you learned of, when was the first time you were taught the 9th chapter of Romans? Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. The children not yet being born, not having done any good or evil, that the purpose of God according to election might stand. How old were you when you first heard that? How old were you when you were taught the great golden chain of salvation in Romans 8? For those whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Now, I really think that it needs to be exposed. That's why I wrote this short little booklet. It's a real short booklet on free will, the lies of free will. You control your own destiny. And you can get it on e-books for like $4. This is a real quick read. It's not a difficult read. tried to make it easy. I'm looking for my glasses. Excuse me. I laid them down somewhere. Anyway. This little booklet. That's what it is, the booklet. It's only 42 pages long. You can read through it in about an hour. Okay. And on ebooks, like I say, it'll cost you a whole $3.95. I think I sell the little paperback edition for, I don't know, $7.95, I think. But I would encourage you to get it. You can get it from lulu.com and just put in The Lies of Free Will. This is revealing, not concealing the truth. You say, oh, you're trying to sell books. No, I'm trying to give you the truth. You know, if I was trying to make any profit off of books, believe me, I wouldn't be selling them for $7.95. Okay. People sell books for $30, $40, $50. That's not what this is about. When we talk about concealing or revealing, this little book here is about revealing. It's about Phillips versus the state of Missouri. It's about a case against the state of Missouri when I was a social worker. And I was fired for refusing to place children with homosexuals. Now, I know YouTube will probably edit that out. They don't mind if you use the word gays. I wouldn't place children with gays and lesbians because of my religious faith. And I won a federal lawsuit against the state of Missouri. Well, I didn't, God did. And it also gives the last 20 years, because this happened 20 years ago, but this gives an update of what has occurred in my life since this. And my thoughts and beliefs after 20 years. And I think you'll find that really interesting as I did research on the Bible and what it actually teaches. So it's not just about the case against the state of Missouri, but it's about false doctrines purported about Christianity. It's about the eternal covenant between the Godhead, the absolute sovereignty of God, predestination, election, effectual calling, Christ manifested, manifestation, resurrection, and the elect's justification. And there's also some suggested reading here in the back. There's other books that I recommend you getting, like The Anti-Gospel by Edward Henry, The Attributes of God by Arthur W. Pink, The Sovereignty of God by Arthur W. Pink, Bloody Zion by Edward Henry, Solving the Mystery of Babylon the Great by Edward Henry. By the way, Edward Henry, God has really helped this man. He went through Notre Dame Catholic College. Then he went on to Jesuit Law School, became a prominent and successful attorney, and then was saved by the glorious grace and mercy of God. What a story of a modern-day Apostle Paul, in my opinion. You say, you're exalting Edward Henry. No, I'm exalting God. You know, that was a miracle. It was a miracle that he does in all of our lives to bring us out of the satanic kingdom. He translates us into the kingdom of his dear Son. So think about these things. We can believe the truths of election and predestination and then conceal the truth about a lot of other things in the Bible. Don't conceal, reveal the truth. That's the message for this morning. God bless.